Welcome back,
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Butts.
Tyler Randolph. Here we are, another episode where we talk about cars, community, collaboration. You know how it is. We do not compete, we collaborate.
That's right. Ramrado style.
Can I tell you something? It's like getting so hot outside that I want to take off all my clothes. You know that song? I am getting so hot.
Stop.
No, it is getting hot. It's hot. And guess what? It's so hot that I'm telling you, when you go to Freedom Fest, you better not be in those boots, them long sleeve shirt, and that hat, because it will be too hot watching fireworks here in Ennis, Texas at Freedom Fest and all that.
This ain't my first rodeo. I've been out in the heat in long sleeve before. So with our animals that we had, I mean, part of why long sleeves had happened and pearl snaps and the long sleeve is to protect you from the sun. It may be hot as heck, but it's still at least going to give you some skin block.
Okay, I got you. I understand that.
Would you rather me just reapply sunscreen constantly?
I don't know. I've never been a big sunscreen person. I probably should have, but didn't do it.
Why not?
I don't know. Disobeyed. Didn't listen.
You gonna get darker?
After you get this dark, Tyler, you don't really worry about getting darker. You're just dark. You know what I mean? So I've quit that stuff of, I can't go outside because I don't want to get dark.
So I got a question.
Okay.
What's the new buttism? Buttsism? If your wife was here, I'd ask her. So when Derrick's being silly, what do you stamp that phrase as? A buttsism, a buttism, a buttsism?
Yeah, I call it a buttsism. They actually don't like it, because especially the one when I say it's going down like a Disney movie. They can't stand that, but that's just the way I roll. So my new one right now is an oldie but goodie. And I think it really sets up what we're going to talk about and our guest today. Oh, I'm telling you, I'm really excited. So let me tell you what it is.
I don't know if y'all saw his feet or not.
Yeah, I did a little dance, a little bit. You build what you birth,
Okay.
but you drop what you adopt.
Write it down.
Write that down. Buttsism.
One more time.
You build what you birth,
Okay.
or you drop what you adopt. So today, when we get ready to talk to our guest today, I really want to pull that out of her. Like, she's birthed this dream of this restaurant. Like,
This is something special.
I mean, we're at Fern in the wild. In just a second, we're going to be talking with the owner that birthed this.
Yeah.
And when you build what you birth, it's like your baby.
Yeah.
And it's like you start one thing and then you have to ultimately do other things. But if you adopt somebody else's dreams, many times you drop it along the way. So we're gonna dive into that. Okay?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, let's just bring her on out right now.
Let's go. So we are sitting here with Magnificent Morgan.
Magnificent Morgan. I like that.
Eminem.
I like it.
We talk about M&M's at the dealership.
Money Morgan.
Yeah. Okay. Money
Magnificent Morgan.
Magnificent Morgan.
Yeah.
Owner, operator,
Thank you.
marketing specialist, community outreacher, professional tree builder. Magnificent Morgan.
How are you doing today,
Thank
Morgan?
you. I'm great. Thank y'all for having me. Thanks
Yeah.
for coming.
Man, we are so honored and privileged to be in this space. Like, tell us about just even, how did you start? How did you come up with this?
Oh my goodness. So my background's always been in food and beverage. It's always been restaurants, hotels. I went to SFA. I don't know anybody out there. Axum Jacks and Nacogdoches.
There we go.
There we go. And I went there, and then I lived in Dallas for several years. I worked for Disney, Nordstrom, Central Market, some amazing companies.
Wow.
Oh, back up.
Oh no!
Did you hear what she said? She worked for It's Going Down Like a
Disney
Disney movie.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
And she just breezed past it.
breezed
Some
past
big
it.
names. This is what I'm talking about.
Listen,
Magnificent Morgan.
It was a college internship. They have a
Who
college
cares?
It was amazing.
Yeah,
and I
that's
loved it.
awesome.
I'm a self-proclaimed Disney fanatic and expert. So yeah,
I love
got
it.
to live
I love
there
it.
in Orlando, and it's a great program. So I went my junior year, and I came back and finished out college, and then off I went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how'd you
This
get to
happened?
Ennis? How'd you get to
Whew,
Ennis?
okay, so we're going back.
Timeline.
Going back. Well, so after, when I was in Dallas, I was working for Central Market, and my mom, and I don't know if y'all even know this, so about 2 blocks from here was a restaurant called the Brown Street Cafe, and it was really popular back in the day, and the owner needed to sell, and I was getting on a plane with my best friend. I was working in Dallas, and she was going to pick out a wedding venue, and I get on the plane, and my mom says, "Hey, did you know Brown Street Cafe is for sale?" And I was like, "Oh no, Mama, I didn't know that." And then a week later, I'm getting on the plane to come home, and she goes, "Hey, so I bought Brown Street Cafe."
Okay.
And my mom had been in banking for 25 years, but food and beverage has always been, our passion to cook together and have fun. So anyway, long story short, I was able to take a leave of absence from Central Market, and I came over to what we called Puddins. So that's my mom's nickname. We called it Puddins.
Puddin.
And
That's
then,
awesome.
yeah.
Tyler,
and
how do you say that?
Oh,
you gotta put
pudding.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No G. You gotta just say puddin
Puddin.
for sure.
Okay.
That's
It's
what
almost
and
like P-O-O-D-I-N, pudding.
There you go. That's a new way to spell it. There's shirts coming out now.
Right. Hashtag pudding.
Get the merch. Oh boy. So we were open there, and then a lot of people talk about the tornado of 2012. And it just hopped, skipped, and jumped over downtown. It damaged a lot of buildings, put a lot of businesses out, and had them move. And we just couldn't survive there anymore. So we closed, and my mom went to work for the city, and I went back up to work in Dallas, and I missed Ennis. So I moved back home. I started working for the Chamber of Commerce, and just throughout all of that, right during COVID, the owner of this building, she had owned it for, over 30 years. Was an interior design business, a gift shop, and a sandwich shop. It was called Interior Ideas and Wildflower Cafe. And COVID, she was ready to pass it on to the next person. So, and
In
that
steps
was
Eminem.
And that was me. And so we took about 2 years to remodel. We did not expect it to take 2 years.
Yeah.
But it did.
Well,
No,
I
yeah.
mean, there was definitely some detail put in this. So
This is
this
an
room
unfinished
is like,
attic. Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
quite exquisite.
Thank
See, I
you,
say some
thank
smart
you.
words too.
Oh yeah, you do.
Exquisite.
You drop them.
Not all red in the back of my neck.
I got that one. I like that. Write it down.
Oh gosh.
No,
Merch
so-
coming out. Merch coming out.
So you've been over here, you're in business. Like, I'm just saying this right now. If you are driving down 45 and you see the sign Buc-ee's, you're close to the most magnificent restaurant in Ennis, Texas, and you gotta come stop at Fern in the Wild. So talk to us about, that transition period. You had a name change. I mean, and then
we did.
here it goes.
Yeah, so downstairs is Fern in the Wild. We like to focus on local vendors, local shopping, local food. Everything is house made. I mean, right down to the mayonnaise. We get our
Without a doubt.
salmons in whole. We break those down. So getting in fresh food is our main goal and our main passion all the time. Even our lettuce is grown in Waxahachie. It's hydroponic lettuce.
What?
Yes.
Come on, Ellis
it's about
County.
as-
Let's go.
It's about as local
That
as
is
you
so,
can get.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Like
Yeah.
when you talk about knowing what you're eating and like the detail of that.
Yeah.
I mean that I just got done eating a patty melt that was absolutely exquisite. I'm ready for round
Thank
2.
you.
You want
Thank
another
you.
one?
I could eat another one. You know how I do.
Man, you are like a garbage disposal.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, yesterday we were at a meeting and I didn't want the dessert that they gave. You know what I did?
They all know.
I just pass it over
Yeah.
to Tyler. Just give it to Tyler and he'll just eat it all up. He eats it up. Okay, so you're in business here in Ennis. So what's some of the maybe the challenges of being in business? I mean, you guys do such a wonderful job from the front door to probably the back end of the building. I mean, because the food is so amazing. But what are the challenges of being in business?
So many. Just being in the restaurant industry in general is always going to be tough. It's always a risk for sure. And one of the things about Ennis is that I was excited about was the labor force is not used to elevated dining, or we don't have a whole lot of sit-down restaurants. So I was really excited to hire people and train them here. So
okay.
I've always wanted to be able to pass on hospitality and that next level of learning.
That's an interesting way to. So what was that? You called it the high table.
Elevated.
elevated tables, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a nice way of saying to sit down and eat in a restaurant. So talking about that and implementing, your brand and like your history to an exquisite restaurant, luxurious atmosphere, and just trying to put a Fern in the wild.
Yeah, that's
Just
right.
like that?
That's right. That's right.
I love how you're
I
just
love
putting
it.
these little
That's
words
great.
together. There's
I
so
love
much
it.
nuggets dropping.
I love it. And when I moved back to Ennis, eventually I was looking around and I was just like, y'all, I cannot eat fast food every day.
Yeah.
I can't, I had my daughter Rebecca Fern, and Fern's a family name, so
Okay.
that's where the name Fern comes from. And so when the opportunity came about, I was like, I know we can do this. We're 30 minutes from Dallas. I know
Yeah.
we can bring good food, good people together. And so as far as the challenges, just being in Ennis, there were some vendor issues, trying to get some of the different kinds of foods and farmers and delivery. So our bread comes from Empire Bakery out of Dallas.
Okay.
And it's all fresh, no preservatives.
I don't doubt it.
They do not deliver, but it is hands down the best bread you can get.
Is that
Sour-
the,
I
is
didn't
that
even-
the kind
I didn't
that
even
y'all
leave a
put,
crumb.
that y'all put on the
Yeah.
patty melt?
Yes, it's all of
Okay.
our bread except for the hamburger buns, because they don't make
don't do
them.
that. Yeah.
They don't make potato buns, but everything else comes from Empire, and it is fantastic. So
That's why you choose the
Yeah.
patty melt over the comeback.
I
You-
knew it
you
was
knew
something.
the
Yeah.
It
bread.
was something. It was the bread
it's the bread
from
So,
Dallas. I
yeah.
guess that.
So we have to drive. We have to drive for some things, for sure.
So one of the things that I guess I hear, and it's probably a challenge that, Tyler and I also face, and that is you can have a business of excellence, but many times it's not the business not being excellent. Sometimes it's just the visibility and the awareness for individuals to
Right.
participate. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm still running into people I went to high school with, and they'll be like, hey, well, what are you doing these days? And I'm like, oh my God, I've got a restaurant downtown.
How long you got?
Yeah. I'm like, hey, please come see me. So that's another one of the biggest things, becoming an owner of a restaurant. You might as well just turn into the marketing coordinator, commander,
Yeah.
social media manager, and if that's not something that you're used to, it's a whole new sense of self, for sure, to push yourself, to learn all the, because you've got these young kids that know how to use all of that better than I do. So it's been fun trying to get the word out.
Have you gotten into, you talked about social media, have you gotten into like the Meta glasses yet?
No, I want a pair though.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay,
Those,
okay.
they
Derek
sound-
will let you try some
Is
out.
that the one where you can do the lasers and like hit the stuff? You know what
No,
I'm
you're
talking
that's
about?
Oh, you're
MetaQuest.
talking- Oh,
that's
okay.
VR
I thought you were
gaming.
talking
You want to
about-
be a gamer. I see. You work so
No,
much, you're
wait,
trying to
wait.
find a game.
And I-
I'm
I
looking
don't
for the
know.
console somewhere in here. Is there an
Okay.
Xbox
No,
somewhere?
no.
Do they have
I
a
think
MetaQuest softball game?
Oh, is that how we're gonna practice? Is that right? Okay.
Because let me tell you,
Don't tell.
our team, the Pegasus Ponies / Ramrado is their name. They need some kind of practice, virtual training, live training. They
Hey,
got
you
their
know what?
butts kicked the other night.
Is there a
So
way
if
to
you-
do like a beep sensor across this?
That's right.
Okay, so no, I'm talking about the glasses. Like they got these glasses out that you can
AI.
just put on, and they have
Yeah.
AI features to them. It records videos. It does pictures. Okay, I'm
Sign
gonna.
me up.
Okay,
If
I'm
I'll
gonna
do
bring
it,
you a
sign me
pair.
up.
Pegasus is gonna bring Fern the Wild a pair.
We're
You
gonna
just
try
gotta
them
use
out.
them. You
I'll
gotta use
use
them.
and
Oh,
we'll,
okay.
and we'll see
I'm gonna bring
what
you a
it-
pair.
That sounds so cool.
Oh,
yeah.
no, it's
I
very
gotta
cool.
look it up.
It's very cool. So awareness is a big, big deal. That is so, that's like I said, Tyler, we face it all the time. We're building, we got a new facility for the Chevy store, and then we have a brand new Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram store that, of course, you know what happens. They always say it gets greater later.
Yeah.
His building's going to be bigger than mine.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
My building's what?
It's going to be bigger than
Oh,
mine.
it's gorgeous.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you guys do have all kind of stuff. Oh, so while we talk about that, what does Morgan drive? What kind of vehicle?
What do I drive?
Crickets.
Oh gosh. I had to.
Don't act like you forgot.
The keys.
know it's not my brand.
I
The
know,
keys.
I
His
know.
It's
brand.
okay.
It's all right.
It's okay.
It's just
The
an answer.
keys that's
It's
in
a-
your purse.
it's
What
a-
are those?
It's a Ford Expedition.
That's what we're talking about. Wow, Ford Expedition. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's amazing. How
I'll get you a Wagoneer.
enjoying
That's
it?
the first, but listen, that's the first Ford I've ever owned because my dad swore it off. He was a Chevy mechanic
that's
for
right,
years
yeah.
and years and years. And
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well,
So
that's
that was
fine.
the first. I definitely got some crap for that. Yeah.
Well, that's part of life, you know. It's the good part about it is choices, right? It's
Yeah.
choice that you get. So you drive a Ford Expedition, and you're having time
We'll get
of
her a
your life.
Wagoneer. We'll get her a
Listen,
Wagoneer.
It was during COVID. I didn't have a lot of choices then.
No,
so
you didn't.
That was
That's true.
That
That's
was
true.
a big deal. That was a big deal.
You know, you mentioned like doing all kind of different things. When we first got to Ennis and it was Christmas time, we get a call that they said, "Hey, Derrick, you know, somebody's here and they want you to get you a Christmas tree."
Yes.
And I'm like, "What do you mean a Christmas tree? First off, my building is real tiny. What do we need to do a Christmas tree?" And then I met you. We met you. So, like, tell me, how did you? Are you this design
That
factor?
whole
Like, how did that
thing.
happen?
That
Did you
whole
see the
thing.
boutique that's next door?
I know that,
I
but I'm
mean,
curious how she got
hot
to the
dog.
dealership
So
doing Christmas trees.
Now we'd have to
That's
ask
probably
Betty. We'd have to
straight
ask
hustle.
Betty about that.
Okay,
Honestly.
okay, so Betty
with
got you.
Yes. So with interior ideas, even when I was growing up, you know, I knew people, and Betty decorated the trees, and her staff and team were amazing. So. When I inherited the business, I wanted to take that over because Christmas time here is so magical. I wanted to make sure I still kept that tradition.
Yeah.
So we
We're
go
happy.
all out for the holidays. And so we have clients in Dallas, residential, commercial, all the way down from Corsicana. We got one 5 hours away. We have to make sure and take
Really?
a whole day to drive
So you
to.
took that same book of business, kept it, and grew it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're always trying, you know, and we use
Straight
their own
hustle.
ornaments, or we'll get some more. And when y'all knew that you were building a new spot, we decided to get y'all a bigger tree, which you'll get this year. You'll get it this year.
Oh, yeah,
And the bill.
yeah. I'll
you'll
get
get
it.
the tree this
2025.
year. And you got all the, yeah, that's right, that's right.
There you go. I
appreciate
love
y'all.
it. Straight hustle.
Well, I'm gonna give her some meta glasses. It's gonna be a
That's right,
discount on my
that's
bill.
right.
Hey, so to that point, like thinking about it and thinking about how me and you both operate too, like when you get into something and you're so passionate about it, you are literally willing to do whatever it takes to make it succeed.
Yeah.
Wash tables, wash dishes,
Oh, yeah.
do Christmas trees, promote your brand, marketing. She's over recording while we're doing this to promote. Like, that's the things I think about. If to truly be successful, it's got to step back and a statement I always say is, I hate it when people say that's not my job.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not my job. You got to be willing to step out of your comfort zone, wash a dish, wash a table, pick up something, whatever, or, you know, run something down for a tech or train a sales associate. You know, it literally be willing to do whatever it takes. That is so important. And we see that. It's like, it's mind boggling to witness business owners that know. I
Yeah.
mean, in some cases in a business, it's like, hey, I have no choice but to succeed.
Absolutely. I've been so humbled by this experience and thankful, and you go through so many feelings, right? Of fear and
Yeah.
excitement, and more fear and excitement and worry, and, you know, what's your year going to look like, and how do I get more people engaged? And, you know, I couldn't do it without a list of core people that have gotten me
Yeah.
to where I am. And, you know,
Sometimes they're dragging you.
always, you
Right.
know, sometimes they got to drag me, and
Sure.
sometimes I'm dragging them. And that's how, what do they say? High tides lift all ships, or whatever. You know, I'm horrible at those.
Well, you did.
But
That
you
was a
know what I
great
mean,
one.
right?
He's Mr. Buttsism, so he'll
That
give
was
you a
great.
I
little-
can't
I dig
remember
that.
what it is, but
Regardless of what it is was
building up downtown was always a big goal, and so I'm always so excited when there's a new business, even if it's food and beverage. I love it. I love it all. Everybody that's down here, because the more people that come down here to visit, the more people want to visit more often, and
that's right.
and it just makes such a huge difference. But, you know, let me tell you, when I'm having to rewire something in the back or flip a breaker,
Parker!
100%. Yes, I tell you.
Parker's your brother, right?
He is.
Yeah, this is
He
a whole
is.
family ordeal.
It is.
I love that, yeah.
It is.
But that's Ennis.
Truly.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, that's Ennis. That's the heart of it. You know, we use
Unity.
this term loosely And sometimes I think people don't understand when we say small business, it doesn't always mean that the business doesn't have levels of excellence. It doesn't need to be profitable. It just means sometimes that we may start with smaller staffs. We may have, but we don't have small vision. Like when I sit here and I look at the things that you've done, the upgrades that you've made, it's not a lack of vision. Right?
Definitely
It's not a lack of vision.
Definitely not.
So, I mean, you're doing a phenomenal job. And, every time I come into the restaurant to eat, everybody treats you so nice and they treat you so well. And so it's a testament to your teaching, to your training, to your coaching, to all the things that you do. So, I mean, we're just ecstatic about what we can do to collaborate with you guys to continue to see more people come to Ennis. That's the reason why we do this podcast. Is that we want people coming to Ennis.
It's important. I love what you guys are doing. When I first heard about it, I think it's amazing. So let me know when you need a list of other small businesses, because I got.
Oh, they're already reaching out.
I'm so glad. That's amazing. Good.
And
Good.
I think that
It
on
makes
that
a
note, though, I
difference.
think there has to be something that, as business owners, we continue to do, and it may be already happening and we just don't know yet about it. Because one thing about the community is, until you know who you need to know, you don't know what you don't know, right?
That's right.
So, but I think it's the thing of collaboration, because like you said earlier, the more people that come to Ennis, it helps everybody.
Yeah.
And if we can just
Trickle
get people
effect,
coming to Ennis, because I say that because it don't matter where people live in a city, they drive to a place when they know about it. And I mean, my wife is off from the school district this summer. One of the things that I said, it was like, hey, when are you going to come out? You got to come to Fern in the Wild. Like all over, that's all I talk about is like, you got to come to Fern in the Wild. I mean, we have some great places for people to be a part of. And it's like, I think it's just, they just don't know.
It is. It's an odd, and now these days, some people don't take the paper. Some people don't look at the, all the things that are paper publishing and magazines, and then you've got your Facebook and Instagram. So, there's this big subset of people that you don't know how to reach. How do you get those people except for getting a sign outside and waving around, and perhaps a billboard or something. But
or that, or
there's
because
so many different options.
I can't dance, so I don't know how to do the TikToks where you can just.
As
figure
Derrick
out how to
says,
go.
you can just send the wild-looking guy with the long hair out and just
All you guys,
jibber-jabber.
I'm telling
Is
y'all.
that Parker or you?
This one.
Oh, there you go.
But Parker, when he walked up, I caught a glimpse, and that mustache.
It is
There was a
something
time for
else.
about a year I grew out of long mustache. It was more the pointy. He had one of the most epic.
Do not encourage him. Please don't.
Okay, so while we're on that note, I got to ask you a question.
Parker, I got you.
Yeah, you
if
did
you're
get
watching, I like the mustache. Don't listen to what she says.
So if you had to look at Tyler and see, is he Jesus or Samson?
Who's Samson?
Well, there was this guy in this book that they call the Bible, the Bible. That's the book for me. Yeah. They say he grew out his hair real long, and he was supposed to be, his power was connected to his hair, and they were not ever supposed to cut it.
That's in the Bible?
Uh-huh.
What testament is this?
No, it's the old one, so maybe you just read the new one. No, it's okay.
That was not in any of my books growing up.
Well, whatever vacation Bible school you've been going to.
They failed me with the magic hair.
They failed
is this
you.
some sort of Rapunzel remake?
Look,
What is
it's
happening?
got no
Oh, my
magic.
goodness.
There's no magic. It's just.
Well,
just
it's no
Tyler.
magic in yours because you've cut it at some point. In Samson's, it was magic because he didn't cut it. And when he did, he lost all his power and strength.
Have you seen Tangled? Are you sure?
Oh my goodness. I felt like we just shifted over and I went back to being a professor at a Bible college.
Oh, were you?
Well, actually, I went to Southwestern Assembly
Now
God
that you
University
say that.
in Waxahachie.
Oh
I
my
did.
God, I love that. Okay.
Yeah, and that's
You know
where I
what?
learned about
Yeah,
Samson.
I didn't know that
see,
either.
They didn't teach that in college, in my college.
Well,
I
yeah.
didn't know that either.
I didn't know that either.
You didn't know what either.
I'm going
You were
right
a
into the
professor at a
Googling.
Baptist college.
Well, first off, I was kind of joking on some of the things. I did go to the
Embellishing,
college.
yes,
He
okay.
I didn't.
He
I'm not. I
attended.
wasn't a professor.
He attended.
I attended.
Sometimes you got to check some of his stories.
That's fair.
So
We
when
can
he
fact
mentioned,
check it.
he's from Guam, and the first time he said that, I'm like, okay, this is like, and sometimes, like, we had to tell Parker the same thing. Because some of your jokes, you just look, you got this serious look, and you just start joking. And if they don't know your tone, it's like,
That's
so
the
you're
best
talking
part.
Guam, and I'm like, oh, he's kidding.
That's
like,
the
you're from
best
Guam.
part.
But
And
straight
that's
up,
True.
from Guam.
Anderson Air Force Base.
Yes.
I went from 2nd grade, 3rd grade, and 4th grade. My 3rd grade teacher was my favorite teacher.
I got a question.
I
Is
love
it the
that.
Miss
third,
Rushka.
third grade or
Rushka.
4th grade spelling bee
4th
champion?
grade spelling bee.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
And
spelling
third?
bee champ.
What
Okay.
was the win? Do you remember any of the words? Like the winning word?
Well, when you're in Guam, you don't have to really spell that many big words. No, I don't remember the winning
Oh,
words.
I love it. I love it.
So we got to wrap this up. In the course of it, I want you to tell us, you got to tell us, if you were a car dealer, right?
Oh.
If you were a car dealer,
Okay.
what would you do in the city of Ennis to grow business?
To grow business for the car dealership?
Well, not for the bakery.
yeah, that's
for the
fair.
car
That's
dealer.
fair. Goodness. In Ennis. You know, what y'all are doing is absolutely amazing. Y'all have been, honestly, a backbone to the community, and it's festivals, it's tourism, it's, sponsoring those things. Seeing y'all in the parade makes such a huge difference. So, things like that, I think, are always going to be huge pillars in small towns like this
Yeah,
that
I
rely
agree.
on
Relationships.
those and
Yes.
those grassroots, causes and things like that. So, other than y'all got a big showroom and y'all got that big new. We can have a party. We might as well have monthly parties.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
go.
but if we're going to do a monthly party,
Some happy
His showroom.
hours.
but we
Yeah.
got to do them here.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
fine.
When I was downstairs, I told him, oh man, we got to figure out how maybe we can coax magnificent Morgan into letting us do more of them up here. Because I'm telling you, I'm literally bamboozled at how awesome this is.
I'm glad you like it. It was
Yeah.
an unfinished attic when we started, so
Yeah.
it's turned out pretty good.
Good job, Parker.
Yeah.
And Morgan.
Fern's is located in downtown Ennis. We've got the downstairs. It's opened Tuesday through Sundays, and we do brunch on the weekends. And then upstairs is the Green Room Lounge, and we're open Wednesday through Saturday. So come by and check it out.
Okay.
I love it. I love it.
What hours y'all open on Wednesday through Saturday?
Upstairs.
Uh-huh.
So we'll open Wednesday through Thursday, 5 to 10, and then Friday and Saturday till midnight.
Ooh,
Late night press.
Late night in Ennis,
Come
Texas.
on over.
Let's
Come
go.
on.
Yeah.
Okay. Reverting back to we were talking about it at lunch. A lot of our ideas and our banter come from just sitting nearer and talking. We communicate so much. So, in our roles in management and getting to where we're at, there's so many elements to that, and building on that. Like for you are a magnificent trainer. Like walk us through some of the elements of that.
Of training?
Yeah. Like what?
Well, I think it's seeing
And the
life.
importance of it and the ongoing aspect of it.
I think training for me all begins with seeing life in a different person's lens. And I think the more that we see it from their end, the better we're going to be with it, right? And so it's the onboarding / ongoing. And I think it's always trying to up level that.
Yeah.
And I think about training, I always think it's not what we do occasionally, it's what we do repeatedly.
Yep.
So what can
It's
we
not something you
instill?
did, it's something you do.
That's something that you do. So what can we instill? And can we instill not just the what to do, but the why behind the what?
Yeah.
I think it's when people get motivated and they have that understanding of it is when they do it without you having that supervision feel. So, that's kind of my approach to it. And I also believe that you cannot hold somebody accountable until you've trained them in that
That's right.
area.
That's
So I take it serious of making sure that I don't assume that I know that I taught, because on the accountability side, it's time to buckle down. Let's get this job done.
Let's go. Yeah.
Right.
And bringing on new people, ideally you want to keep a consistent staff, but bringing on new people, like we talked about, what I look for in the salespeople a lot of times is not necessarily someone who's sold cars before.
Right.
That you get those, but bringing on new people, sometimes it's good to have a blank slate to where you can do the training and the impression and, creating something along the lines of what your vision is. So,
Yeah.
super important. Morgan, thank you so much for
you.
coming to visit us and, coming to visit us. We're visiting you. This is your building. Thank you so much. It's such a joy in talking about cars, community, and collaboration. Community, collaboration, and really didn't talk a whole lot about cars this time, but that's okay. But community and collaboration, collaborating with
We
other
did talk
business
about our
owners.
expedition.
Oh, so really close.
Yeah. We got to make sure we talked about it. It's all good.
Nonetheless, this was an awesome episode. It went down like a...
Disney movie.
From the previous Disney employee, it went down like a what?
A Disney movie.
Disney
There we go.
movie.
So
God dog it.
will you please say Ramrado?
Ramrado?
Awesome. If you had to choose between a Ram or a Chevy, which would you choose?
Chevy?
We're out, y'all. See you next time.